Hello Aggie sports fans, and welcome to the last episode of In the Huddle before spring break. I'm Cecilio Ramirez, and I'm accompanied by my two co-hosts, Jacob Russell and Brock Bodie.
Today on our sports show, we've got action from last week's baseball series against Southeastern Oklahoma State. Plus, we have a feature story on one of the few returning men's basketball players for next season.
We'd like to wish good luck to the CU's golf teams. Right now, both teams are competing in the Red River Intercollegiate. The women's team is currently 8th, while the men's team stands at 3rd. We'll have the results on our next episode when we return from spring break.
Don't go anywhere, and the huddle starts now.
The Aggie men enjoyed a 4-game homestand over the weekend, taking on Southeastern Oklahoma State. Let's take a look at some of the action. Right. The Aggie men, ranked nationally number 11th, moved on to 16-7 at the end of this 4-game series. Here we got Blake Bickle ringing up a couple batters. He went 6 strong innings, gave up 5 runs, 5 of those earned with 6 strikeouts. Really, the thing with the Aggies this season, as long as you can keep the runs down to 3 or 4, the offense is going to put up numbers. It's something they've proved time and time again. Here we go at the grounder to first baseman Blake Watson, usually known for his offensive prowess. Nice defensive glove there. Alex Lyons gets to walk, and this is going to be the start of something nice for the Aggies here. We got a couple plays coming back to back. Next up is third baseman Jake Forsyth with the double off the wall. He really drove that. Now Alex Lyons is going to go to third. We have runners on second and third now with Josh Barnett coming up to bat. A real threat gets hit. Now in these games there were 2 Aggie men hit. The benches did clear, but no brawl ensued. Here we got a double to the fence, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs for Nate Aravello. The Aggie men would later go on to win this game 7-6. Win the second game as well 7-6. Drop the third game 10-0 and go on to win the third one, the fourth.
Hammer basketball reached new heights this year. The men's team made it to the LSC playoffs for the first time in 11 years, even after losing key players through injuries. Junior forward Jamaar Burke fought through his injury the entire season. The basketball team is preparing for next year after a tough loss to MSU in the first round of the Lone Star Conference playoffs. Forward and center Jamaar Burke is one of the 3 remaining seniors for next year's squad. Burke was an effective post presence for CU, even though he battled a knee injury for most of the season.
It gradually kept getting worse and worse, but I didn't want to sit out because we was very short-handed. And I just felt like, whatever I could do, just even to be an extra body out there, help the team. Because we was already doing some big things, and another injury would devastate the team. I didn't want the team to come down.
Jamaar Burke grew up playing basketball in Toronto, Canada. His high school coach helped develop his game in order to transition to the style of play in the United States. After plenty of practice and some biometric workouts, Burke's jumping ability soared, increasing his chances to attack the rim and pull down rebounds.
As I kept working out, I was able to get higher and higher, and then before I knew it, I was able to jump as high as I do now.
Burke comes from a family dedicated to the game of basketball. His father has been his #1 fan from the beginning. He also has 4 younger brothers who look up to his career as they follow in his footsteps.
With a team, we always say we're a family, so it's like being a senior, I would look at them as my younger brothers too, try to help them out, being one of the older guys on the team next year.
As an older brother and as a senior player, Jamaar Burke understands his responsibilities on next year's team. He says his knee will be at 100% in 6 weeks. After a full recovery, Burke will be training all summer long with his coaching staff. He says he wishes to become more versatile and play multiple positions on the court.
The Aggies men's tennis team is celebrating their victories against East Central University. The Aggies won all of their singles and double matches, finishing 8-0 against the Tigers. The duo of Daniel Pezos and Diego Trujano was the most exciting match of the afternoon. Pezos and Trujano were down 4-1 before winning 9-8. Men's tennis will play again on Friday in Springfield, Missouri. The team will be taking on Northwest Missouri State, and CU will be back at home April 1st as they take on Dallas Baptist.
The Aggie softball team has won their 2nd straight tournament this season. The team was crowned champs of the Missouri Southern State Invitational Tournament after finishing 4-1. As a team, the Aggies scored 21 runs on 49 hits. They also recorded 8 doubles and a triple. This tournament will be the last non-conference tournament of the season. Next for Aggie softball is Southeastern Oklahoma State on the road. The first game of the doubleheader begins on Tuesday at 1. The second game will also be at 1, but at home on Saturday. And here we are again for our roundtable discussion here on In the Huddle. Really the biggest thing going on in national sports right now is World Baseball Classic. And this is basically the tournament where countries from around the world get together and play in a fun tournament like this. So far, the biggest teams in the tournament have been Korea with 2 wins in a row, Puerto Rico with 2 wins in a row, and the United States with 2 wins in a row. What do you think of the Classic so far, Jake?
It's been a very, very interesting World Baseball Classic. We actually saw a very strong, deep Dominican team get upset by the Netherlands, which you never really expect to see that happen. Yeah, not at all. But then I think an interesting side storyline throughout this tournament are the players that haven't found a team yet. I know it kind of takes away from the World Baseball Classic and what it is as a whole, but other than that, once it ends, these players still need to find jobs. And you have players like Juan Pudge Rodriguez, who goes off first game of the World Baseball Classic, hits 2 home runs and lifts Puerto Rico over. You got Pedro Martinez coming out and pitching strong innings. I just think that's an interesting note to look for on the side as far as the tournament carries on, and to see who might just get a job out of this thing.
Is there any teams you're looking forward to seeing, Brock?
I see Puerto Rico besides the United States. I think they probably pose the greatest threat, but I mean, I've been proven wrong before. So
yeah, you know they're my pick, but so far they've played well. They faced the Netherlands last night and barely won after the Netherlands have defeated Dominican Republic. Today's games, Italy at Venezuela, Dominican Republic at the Netherlands again, and Cuba at Australia. What do you look forward in the rematch against Dominican Republic and the Netherlands, and then also with a strong Cuba team against Australia?
Well, first we'll talk about the Italy-Venezuela. The winner of that game moves on with the Team USA, the United States, to go ahead and move out of that pool. So that game is important in that own regard. Dominican Republic versus Netherlands. The Dominicans, in their own right, have something to prove coming out and being upset by an upstart Netherlands team has really been surprising everybody, led by a 19-year-old ace on the mound. I don't know if you guys have got a chance to see him, and excuse me, I forgot his name doesn't come to me right now. But they have a stud 19-year-old that's been pitching, and man, he's been amazing. And as far as Cuba, Australia, the Cubans always have a stacked team. They've always got all kinds of major league potential. Now it's just whether or not they're able to get out of Cuba to come to the States and play. So I think anytime you're playing against Cuba, you've got to be aware of the power that they possess.
Now this year in the World Baseball Classic, Alex Rodriguez was set to play for the Dominican Republic. He's set to undergo surgery, I believe.
Already had it.
Already
Successful.
had surgery. So he's out. I believe he's out for 6 to 8 weeks, is what they were saying. Do you think that affected the Dominican Republic's play?
Yeah, I would think so, but I mean, I really don't know who the Dominican Republic has on their team, but A-Rod would surely help out.
Definitely. The only thing is that's leadership. But then again, the Dominican Republicans, they're led by Felipe Alou. Moises Alou is their team captain. I mean, they've got depth, they've got leadership all the way through their lineup. I think it misses.
They all know how to play baseball.
Yeah, it misses his bat, definitely, but it's all stuff that you can make up with certain intangibles that other players possess. So I don't think it's too big of a gap, but of course, I mean, you're missing somebody who can hit it out whenever he wants to. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, somebody who hits 30, 40 home runs a year.
Yeah, no doubt.
And his leadership, Major League Baseball potential, everything he has, they're definitely missing him. But we look forward to the games coming up in the Classic. That's all the time we have this week on In the Huddle. If you'd like to watch this show or any of our other CUTV programming, please log on to youtube.com/CU Internet TV. And if you're watching us on campus, but you can't hear anything coming from the monitor, feel free to turn it up.
CUTV has also been working hand-in-hand with the Cameron Collegian to bring you live weekly shows, starting out with our top-of-the-hour morning show. Tune in at 9 a.m. this Thursday morning at any of the plasmas around campus, or simply visit our website, cunews.wetpaint.com. You can also participate in the live blog during the show.
There's also a new issue of Collegian on the newsstands around campus, so pick up your copy today. Until next time, this has been Brock Bodie,
Jacob Russell,
and Cecilia Ramirez.
We'll see you after spring break.